Alright guys, I would love to speak about my first video and topics related to that, but we're going to be essentially talking about proof of weak hands 3D and the relevance this has to the bigger picture. And that's what I'm all about, the bigger picture here, guys. So I want to eliminate, like probably a lot of you guys, I need to make sure that everybody watching this is under the impression that Bushma, Trump, and the people that we vote for actually have our best interests in mind when at every very obvious level they use a system of politics and law and banking in order to benefit them and those in that industry. An industry that should be utilitarian. Minus that, if you're in the camp that voting for people that control things are going to make your life better, well, turn this off now, okay? Because you, part of the problem. That being said, if you come from the other camp of the idea that equality, knowing the idea that if we want equality in the world for humans, the most core level whenever that comes is during tragedy, catastrophe, or famine. And I'm not wishing for these kinds of things, but I know one thing's for sure. Any ism that's going to make the world a better place, capitalism, socialism, communism, they're going to be corrupted by bankers, politicians, and lawyers. The utilitarian positions in society to keep us from hurting each other. That's all those people are worth, and we need to relegate them to garbage men and mailmen on behalf of this. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have wars and problems that are insurmountable, being blamed on things out of our control that we need to give control over to. All right, so you know this. So you guys think the politicians have a solution? Bye-bye. Those of us that understand that the disproportionate distribution of power and money comes from these isms, I would love to suggest proof of weak hands 3Ds. Now we know that society determines where it goes based on its value system, right? Money, essentially. And those of us that are watching this have a really clear understanding of money, but let's just really briefly go over the fact that money comes from debt right now. It doesn't come from any collateralized commodities. It doesn't come from any kind of like work. Money comes from debt. And that's what we're trading our work for, a promise for tomorrow. And there is not enough work that's being valued high enough to pay off that debt. No matter what. And the game of economics in your and our lives is based on this. With that being said, I would like to go into how proof of weak hands is a contract system that is based in the constructs of the society that we live in that can totally turn everything upside down on its head for individuals who believe in the idea that their money should come from what they decide it is. And we can do this as a consensus. And I know this sounds ludicrous, and I know one thing is for sure, every dime I stick into proof of weak hands 3D is gone. It's going to be gone. I mean, the idea that it's going to grow and it's going to be a BitConnect lifestyle, you know what? I just can't believe that. What I can believe in is something that exposes the fraud of what the system we currently live in is. And if we look at just basics, it's so clear that proof of weak hands is actually a better model than the debt-based currency system that we have today. So this is how it works. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but I really want to try and show you guys what I think I understand about this and how contracts are such a wonderful solution. I hate the idea that Bitcoin is going to be king. I love Bitcoin. I just hate the idea that all these people want to call everything else shitcoins when Bitcoin can't even do what I'm about to explain. On the Ethereum network, it's all smart contracts based. If we know what smart contracts are, then we're ahead of the game. If you don't, there's tons of video about it. As a matter of fact, you probably want to go watch like Mike Maloney's The Secret of Money. Get up to date on, how you live in this world today and your place in it. That being said, this smart contract platform. So here's Proof of Work 3D. They got all the coins, right? I've got like these, we'll just call these 10 screws, right? And the reason I use screws is because I'm making it clear. You're going to get screwed on this, okay? Because they have the guns. So this is just a way to out these people with the power, and I think it's a really wonderful thing. If I have 10 of these screws that I know I'm going to get screwed by, I want to stick them into the proof of PoWH3D bag over here, right? And now they have my coins, and what they do is they give me a bunch. There's 10 of these screws, right? Well, they take one of those. First thing they do is they take one of those 10 screws and they take it from you, and now you got 9 screws worth of the P3D coin. Well, what they do with this 10% here, they take 30% of it and they give it out as dividends, and then they take the 70% and they influence the price, right? And how they do that, I guess, is by creating, I don't know if it's a demand thing as far as the price goes, but what I do know is that those dividends, they go to all the users. That's how we end up making money off of it, because other people are buying into it, and when they buy into it, we get a dividend. And what happens is the price goes up. But as we sell our P3D tokens, we also have to give 10% back, and then we get our other coins or whatever we exchange it for. So each time you go in and out, you're taking a 20% hit. So the idea is to show you that you got weak hands, and that if you believe in something, you're willing to stick in it in order to get it to work for you. This is what the value is here, is how we all can move up on behalf of the dividends we make, and how the price goes up is based on how many coins are bought. One of the things I probably failed to mention too is when we buy coins and we take that, they take that 10%. When we buy coins, more coins are created. As well, when we sell our coins, those coins that we sell are destroyed. So it's a really clear contract, and with these promises that our financial institutions and governments give us, and their accounting methods change, not even every generation, every few years, as far as the BLS goes, as far as how they designate a mortgage-backed security, or how they register a mortgage with mortgage electronic registration. These things constantly changing, they're moving the goalpost on us. This is a clear contract as far as this goes. Let them out this. And let's take this to court as far as what is legitimate. Because this is a legitimate contract that creates values for its users in a blockchain that they supposedly can't touch. Tell me this isn't genius. This isn't BitConnect. Prove to me that they can't turn this down, and prove to me that when they come after it, it's going to be like the fake news that they did with Tether. I don't know, guys. Tell me I'm wrong, because I know I'm wrong somewhere in here. And one thing I really don't understand is how the price goes up. I understand the dividends. I understand how the coins are destroyed and created. And also one of the things I understand that we're not paying attention to, shocks, is the amount of coins that are being bought. Did you look yesterday on the 15th? Like double the amount of almost all time. Although those numbers keep getting adjusted, how many ethers are bought. So am I just buying into a total joke? Am I being made fun of? Hope not. With this idea of what proof of weak hands is and how it works, and how they'd have to essentially take down the Ethereum smart contract, I imagine, unless the coders can be coerced like the people that state of Texas did to the people of BitConnect, or whatever the other ones, DeVore. I don't know if USI Tech is still around. It doesn't matter. This proof of weak hands 3D is an amazing thing, and I think we all should take money we're willing to throw down the toilet and put it in there. I really do. If you want to lose all of your money and you want to click the link I have down below for how to do that, all day, brother. So it's time we expose what we've all bought into and how it's enslaved us. Humanity can progress so much further if it isn't restricted by a single source determining how we transact with one another. Proof of weak hands 3D. Get some, brother.